AFTV, Arsenal 2, Luton now. I'm here with Dale, and obviously Dale, we've got the win today. How happy are you about that?
I'm very content. I'm happy we got the win. It's pretty basic, but
Only content?
yeah, we needed the 2 points. It wasn't like a impressive performance, but we got the job done. We needed that. We needed these 3 points. We needed every point if we plan to win the league this year. So I'm quite happy with the performances.
Okay, that's fair enough. And obviously you say content there, and I'm assuming that would be a majority of that because of the way we played in the second half. I think in the first half, we looked great, and we didn't take our foot off the pedal in the first half. But in that second half, a little bit more reserved. Do you think that was smart from Arsenal, considering the amount of games that we've got coming up, or would you have rather seen them go all guns blazing?
No, I didn't think we need to go all guns blazing. We got 2 goals early. As you can see, we did a lot of changes, so that played a part in a lot of the movement of the ball and stuff like that. So I think we did well with the resources we had on the field today. And during the game, we see where, we sort of take our foot off the gas a bit. And then we sort of just like run around. Luton had like 1 and 2 bright moments, but, they couldn't really get it together. And from Arsenal's standpoint, I would say we have a lot of games left. And the games we have left are like super important. And, a lot of people needed the rest. And a lot of people needed some of the minutes. We saw a bit of a spark from Smith Rowe today. He did well. Still have some questions to ask of Zinchenko and Havertz. But I think, all in all, the performance was good enough because all we needed was the point, and we got that.
Absolutely. And obviously you mentioned some of the players that came in today, the likes of Smith Rowe and stuff like that. First of all, I want to ask how was you surprised at all by the amount of changes that we made? And not just the amount, but some of the players that we saw. We saw the likes of Reece Nelson come in. We saw the likes of Smith Rowe coming in, who we didn't really think would be starting a game. Was that a surprise to you, and did you think it was a risk?
It was a surprise, but it's a happy surprise. Because honestly, I really believe that these guys need minutes. And because of the run of fixtures that we're going to have, it was more of, if not know when. Saka really needed that rest. So I'm happy he got the time off. Rice, I never really expected Rice to be a part of the game today, but he came in, he did what he needed to do. Partey, it was obvious that, to the end of the game, he was running out of steam. So I really needed him to get these minutes because we're going to need him further on throughout the season. Reece Nelson, I really thought that, I was expecting some more from him.
It's a shame.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a shame, but knowing how much games are left in the season and his importance to see whether he can now cement himself as a, somebody that comes on, makes the changes. I think he got the opportunity today and he never really grasped the opportunity as Smith Rowe did. Smith Rowe saw it and took it. Smith Rowe got a chance today to score. I wished he scored. But all in all, I think the team on a whole, we played different with the substitutions that we had. And I think moving forward will be better. I'm a bit more comfortable now seeing what we have on the bench. Moving forward, we never played Jesus today, and Ketia got a run in. I think they had enough minutes to do something, and if this was the game to do something as a substitute, so I'm happy that all the people that got to play played. And I just feel like not all of them really grabbed at an opportunity.
Of course, absolutely. And obviously, we mentioned the amount of rotation that was in this game. Do you expect there to be that level of rotation at any other point during the season? Or do you think that maybe Arsenal have just thought it's Luton, they're second to bottom in the Premier League. This is the time. The time is now to make these changes and give people minutes.
I really think it's the end. Because we're winding down to the season where it's more nitty-gritty, I don't necessarily expect Arsenal to be trying to score 5 and 6 goals right now. It's going to be hard because teams are going to be a lot more defensively sound and people are going to be a lot more careful. As you can see, after we scored the 2 goals on Luton, we sort of just went into cruise control mode in which we were just prioritizing the 3 points. And I think moving forward, I don't expect us to be playing that level of football anymore. But the free-flowing 4 or 5 goals, I'm not really expecting that right now. You win titles with hard victories, 1-0s, 2-0s. And I think, judging by the previous Arsenal, the free-flowing football, this time of the year, we wouldn't be playing like this. We would have found a way to lose some of these games that we've, that
I remember.
exactly, that we've been winning. So if I think that they're looking at, the mistakes that they made last year and say, okay, then you know what? Let us now try to manage these games properly. And I must commend Arteta for that. You can see that he was not really pleased with the performance after a while, because we could have let back Luton into the game.
Yeah.
But in terms of the game management and the rest of the games that we have leading up, I expect a lot more defensively sound game. I'm not expecting any more 5-0. I'm not expecting that. I'm expecting, we have to play Liverpool. We have a lot more. We are going to play Bayern, and these are teams which they will punish you the more mistakes you make. So, for instance, even today we saw where Zinchenko looked great going forward, but there were some times when he like in Jamaica we say drop asleep. So he fell asleep and they would run in. So it's more to keep the team compact and moving forward. I just want to win. At this moment,
that's fair.
Before, it was nice winning 5 and 4, but we're at the point of the season now where if we should win every game, we have a chance to win the title, and that is what I am focused on right now.
Absolutely, can't be too greedy, I suppose.
Yeah.
Out of all some of the surprise inclusions, again, you're looking at the likes of Smith Rowe and Reece Nelsons, and maybe potentially even Thomas Partey, because he hasn't had that many minutes this season. Given their performances today, do you think there are any of those guys in contention for the game this weekend against Brighton?
I would say I would play Thomas Partey again. Yeah, I'd say Thomas Partey, because the time that he had, I see him misplace one pass, but I really think it's about his fitness, and we have to watch him, because I call him part-time, because he's always injured.
It's a great nickname, by the way.
Yeah. Something is always, wrong with this guy, and I believe when fit, he deserves to start in the team. Declan Rice is good. I like that pairing with them together to help Odegaard. Smith Rowe made a good run for himself to be included more in the team. I wouldn't necessarily start him. I think in terms of attacking wise, Reece Nelson, I still think he's going to be a substitute. I think he was more, a lot of the times when he got the ball, he wasn't necessarily in an attacking position to really make an impact on the game. Trossard was just Trossard. I think he played well. Sometimes you start him, sometimes we don't. I don't necessarily have a problem with whether we start him or don't, because Martinelli, for me, is the person who should be out there. So, what
do you make of the criticism that's been put on Leandro Trossard recently? Obviously, people criticising because of his lack of pace, but again, it's not really anything you can help. I think he benefits the team in other ways, though.
I think Trossard is one of the most technically gifted players on the team. And where he lacks in pace, he makes it up with skill. So as you can see, a couple times he was dicing those players. The right back, I think it was the right back or the left back. He was having his way with these guys around there. So, and he was one of them who got down, made the cross. He makes it up. I think he's a very technical player as well, and he scores.
Yes.
If he gets a chance, he's going to score. So I'm not necessarily worried about his pace. No, if we play a team that press, maybe he wouldn't fit into that specific system. That's when a Martinelli or a Saka would be more integral in the team. But I believe that Trossard is trying his best, and I would trust him. I trust him. If it's somebody that I have to play, and if Martinelli is out and Trossard is playing, it's not like the end of the world. I wouldn't really hold my head. Like if Saka is playing, and I'd probably hold my head. But just being honest.
No.
Yeah.
Of course, that's right. And obviously this is just the start of quite a jam-packed April for us. We've got quite a few fixtures coming up this month. This was probably one of the, I don't want to say less of fixtures, sorry.
Yeah.
But, one of the weaker teams, as per se. We've got quite an important game coming up against Brighton away from home before the big one midweek against Bayern Munich in the Champions League quarterfinals, a stage that we've not been at for a long time. How confident are you going into these games?
Well, I'm confident going into these games because of how we managed this game today. I think Arteta used this game as a thing to see, okay, then can I fit this person here, or because Kivior got rest, and I think we're going to need those guys for Brighton, going at Brighton, and especially when we're playing Bayern, we're going to need a very defensively sound defensive team that can manage pace, because the Bayern wings are crazy. So I think I'm going into those games not necessarily optimistic, way more comfortable. This is not 2017, 2016 Arsenal. I think this young crop of boys are growing up now, and know they want to win. They understand what it feels to lose, and not necessarily just like lose before. They tasted it last year, and they don't necessarily want that to happen to them again. So I think we're gonna get a fight that us Arsenal fans haven't really been seeing for a couple of years now, and I'm just happy to see it, to see these guys that that we've always been watching, the Saka, the Martinelli, finally growing. I feel like they're turning into men right in front of us, and I feel like from now on, for the next 3-4 years, this should be a good crop of players that if we keep them together, we can do something very special for a long time.
Absolutely, completely agree. And just to round things off, let the people know where they can find you online.
You can find me on Instagram at DaleElliottJR.com. You can find me on YouTube at Dale Elliott TV. TikTok, same thing, basically anywhere. You can find me on my website, DaleElliott.com.